Hey everybody, welcome back to our Peace of Mind. My name is Omar aka Omar. This is
Keeson aka Checha.
And today we're here because we're going to review a movie we just saw on Thursday on opening night, and it's the
Blue Beetle movie.
Okay guys, so Blue Beetle is a DC Comics hero. He's been around for a really long time. He just recently debuted in the DCEU. This is his first movie in DCEU, and he's part of the older movies. Technically, according to James Gunn, which is the new head of the DC movie sector, he's going to be hopefully in the new ones. He's considered the first superhero in this new slate of movies. Blue Beetle is of Mexican descent. His name is Jaime Reyes, and he originally in the comics he's from El Paso, Texas, but for the movie they created a new city called Palmera City, which that's where he lives. I really didn't know much about Blue Beetle going into this movie, but I read a couple of comics of the new version of the Blue Beetle, which this movie is based on, and I actually found a liking to him. Did you know anything about Blue Beetle before this?
I knew he was a character because I remember playing Injustice, you know, the game.
Right.
He's in that game, and I always liked his design.
Yeah,
and right. But I just didn't like when you could see his mouth.
Yeah.
But in the movie, like, it's like just a mask.
Yeah, you're right. I've always liked the design as well, especially from that game Injustice 2, and I always had that problem with this mouth that it just looked blue. This whole area was blue, but he would be able to move his lips. It looked weird, but in the movie version and the comic version, it's kind of like a similar design to Deadpool's mask in its own, you know? It's really cool. The suit is just pretty great. So now we're going to be talking about the characters a little bit. The characters within the Reyes family, they're really well developed. It actually feels like they're actually like a family. Like they're actually, like they're brought to life. They actually feel like a family that, you would know, and they actually coexist pretty well with each other. Sometimes they bicker, sometimes they fight, sometimes they joke around, but all in all they all work very well with each other. There's the uncle,
like your standard family. Right?
Yes, exactly. There's the uncle, the dad, the mom, the grandma, the sister, and of course Jaime Reyes, and they all have a pretty good relationship. They show you that they're close, that they're a tight-knit family, and that they've come a long way. They do really good in that aspect with the family. With the bad guys, it's a little bit of a different story. They're not that well developed. They do try to develop them a little bit better, but they come up a little bit short. The bad guy, he's actually really interesting once you get to know his background, but it takes a while to show you that. And when they show you that, it's brief and you don't get to really attach yourself to his story, but you do see a little bit of it and you understand them a little bit more. The main villain, Susan Sarandon, I mean, she's a good actress, but she wasn't given much to do. She's just pretty much one of those type of bad guys that just wants to be evil to be evil.
Very dislikable.
Yes, really, really dislikable. You guys are going to be hating her by the end of the movie. But yes, the bad guys are not as developed as the good guys or as the Reyes family. Carapax, which is the main villain, the guy with the suit that fights Blue Beetle, his suit is pretty cool.
It does look like Doomslayer.
It does. But that's what's kind of badass about it, because it looks big, it has a bunch of weapons, and it's my favorite color, red, so I'm kind of biased towards it. But overall, even the fight scenes that he has with Blue Beetle, they're pretty amazing. It matches Blue Beetle's suit, which is really good, as I mentioned earlier. It's really detailed, so they did really good in the design department. The story is actually really good. It's something that you've probably seen before, but with a little bit of a twist. It's fast-paced, and honestly, I thought it was not going to be that action-packed, but they actually have a few fights.
Very surprising.
Yes, very surprising. Most of those fights are really entertaining. I was really pleased with how they treated the powers. They don't really go too much into explaining them, but they do show you them, which I prefer.
They're very pleasing visually. They had me like sitting on the edge of my seat. They were very cool and detailed, and the CGI was amazing.
Yes, they have limited budget, right? This is not one of the biggest movies for DC, but they managed to use the budget very well because the visual effects are really, really done well. And the practical effects, because actually most of the suit is practical. There was a lot of set photos that showed that, where he was actually wearing the full costume and he would just take off the mask. But of course, once he gets up in the air and he starts fighting people, then it becomes CGI. But it's kind of done seamless, especially because most of the shots are at night, so you can't really tell that it's, blurry or CGI. So they do a really, really good job in the design and the effects department, practical effects. So we get a thumbs up for that. The movie's also really, really funny. A little too funny.
It works in its own way.
It balances itself with the heart of the movie. Then when they need to get, serious, they actually treated the right way. It's not like Love and Thunder where everything was a joke. It's better balanced than Love and Thunder. There's a lot of things in this movie that people are going to say, oh, it's been done before. Oh, I've seen this before. Yes, there is. But Blue Beetle, I believe, does it better. Some of the scenes that are being compared to, they have more weight in this movie because of the family and just the way that they treat it. They don't treat it like a joke. It gets you, and I'm not gonna lie, it did pull at my heartstrings. There was a lot of dust in the room, and you know, yes, a lot of chopping onions. A couple of those moments where the performances that are given by the actors, you know, they justify the reaction. The effort was there, and I think that all the actors did a really good job conveying those emotions on screen.
None of them felt like fake. It came to life. It brought the movie to life. Like, they were very good with it. They played the parts well.
And if you don't cry during this movie or shed a tear, you don't have a heart. Alright guys, another thing I want to talk about really quick is actually the lore. The world building in this movie. Honestly thought there was going to be none, since, you know, a lot of people expect Blue Beetle to be one and done. So I didn't expect them to do anything about the background or, you know, the past or the comics. But surprisingly so, they put in a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of hints at not only the comics, but the DCEU and possibly the future.
It's not like your typical fighting action movie. There's actually deep lore, and it could be deeper explored into.
Yes, and it's not just thrown at you. It's actually embedded into the story, and it's subtle enough that it's noticeable.
It's like
so
leaving
it's done
you
well.
guessing.
Yes, and it's pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure that some people that don't know about Blue Beetle are going to be clueless, but at least they'll have, you know, an indication that something else is going on, and that maybe they might want to explore that in the future. So I'm actually excited for what happens in the future. I hope this movie does well enough to get a sequel, and that way we can see more of that, because the way the movie ends, it alludes to something else in the future. So hopefully it does good, and hopefully we get another one. What do you think, Jason? Do you want another one?
Yeah, that would be very cool. I really like this movie, so I think the second one would do as well or better.
So James Gunn, if you're listening, do another sequel, man. I want to see another Blue Beetle, not just because I'm Mexican American, but because it was a good movie, alright? Alright guys, with that being said, from 1 to 10 is a 9 out of 10. What about you, Kason?
I'm going to have to second that and also give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. So the reason behind that, in my opinion, it's a really well done movie. Yes, we've seen a lot of these things done before, but not as well. The heart is there in the movie. A movie with heart goes a long way. You can have a movie with all the action scenes and explosions and all of that, like Black Adam, which was filled with nothing but explosions and action and crazy stuff. But the story wasn't there at all. It was just all over the place.
Movie,
it wasn't a bad movie. I liked
it. Parts.
Yes, but this movie has both. It has the action, it has the heart, comedy, it has a good cast, it has good visuals. It has it all. It's not a perfect 10 or a masterpiece, but
it's a good movie.
I'll go out on a limb to say that this is actually one of my favorite DCEU movies. I would say it's up there with Shazam, and up there with, and of course I'm not counting the Batman Nolan trilogy, but it's up there with Shazam for me and The Man of Steel, which I really love, those two movies. Actually, I'm planning to go see it again. Hopefully he wants to go and see it again, and we'll see. But guys, Blue Beetle, don't sleep on it. Blue Beetle is a really, really good movie. Go support it. That way we could hopefully get a sequel to it, and you guys would enjoy it. Go ahead and watch the movie. You're not going to be disappointed. It's not bad at all. It's actually certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes already. So, alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and don't forget to subscribe, please. This has been our Peace of Mind on the Blue Beetle movie. Go check it out. It's a really good movie. Go watch Blue Beetle. My name is Omar A.K. Venomar. This is
Kason A.K. Checha.
And this is
Shannon A.K. Goto.
Alright guys, go watch Blue Beetle. Alright guys? Thank you very much for watching this video. And pizza out.
Pizza out.
Pizza out, guys. Pizza out. Alright guys, see ya. Bruh.
Pizza-wea.